How y'all doing, baby? It is Wednesday, baby. It's hump day. We're halfway through this shit. Pretty soon, next thing you know, we'll be putting some beer on ice or whatever, you know. We'll have things to do. But it's hump day, baby, and we got to get over it. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to go about talking about what I want to talk about. So let's start with the obvious. Well, John, you're sitting in front of the Capitol. That's right, baby. That's right. Well, I'm not physically there, but you get the idea. That's our house, baby. That's our house. We are the landlords of that house. We pay the mortgage on that house, baby, and it's not cheap. Not cheap at all. The mortgage on this house is paid by the blood and treasure of our nation, and it has been for centuries. It is our blood and our treasure that pays the mortgage, that keeps this democracy of ours rolling along. But we have repairs to make, baby. We have a lot of repairs to make. And we have to be careful and take care of this house. Because if we don't, it will crumble. It'll fall when the foundation cracks. And today on the news, we saw a foundational crack in our house. The Senate Judiciary Committee this morning was meeting to look into the IG's, the Inspector General of the FBI's report of the Larry Nassar case. He was the doctor for the Olympic gymnastics organization, the women's gymnastics, who was sent to prison in 2018 for molesting girls. The IG came back with a report that was scathing on the FBI, because the FBI in 2015, agents that had interviewed victims of Larry Nassar testified today, including Simone Biles, Allie Raisman, Maggie Nichols, and others, testified this morning about how they gave testimony in front of the FBI. And then found out later through the Inspector General's report that they had lied and misrepresented their stories and perpetuated Larry Nassar to continue what he was doing. That's a failure within the FBI, a failure of their code of conduct, their very oath. One of the FBI agents was fired just last week. Larry Nassar's been in prison since 2018. Wheels of justice were turning a bit slow there, wouldn't you think? But these agents need to be held account. They need to be charged with failure of their duty, with lying in a case. These agents need to be punished for allowing that to go on. Hell, I understand one of them was even hoping to get a job with the Olympic Committee after his retirement. Not a hell of a plan, baby. That's a crack in our foundation. And we're gonna have to repair that crack. And it goes deep. But if we don't fix these cracks, then this house will fall down. And we have enough troubles as it is from within our own country. With we're looking at the September 18th, this Saturday, the Justice for January 6th rally in Washington, where they're putting up fences around our house again to try to keep the crowd out this time. Well, they're expecting 700 people, they said, maybe up to 700 people. The crowd is getting smaller, and I doubt 700 will show up. How ignorant and disgraceful do you have to be to show up at this point when it's obvious that there are lines drawn and people are taking sides, baby, and the Republicans are losing left and right, baby? You know, the Trump administration, former officials, they say, are trying to get the GOP to make a stand against these Afghan refugees, not to allow them in our country, to demonize them the same way they did the Mexicans or anybody else that tried to get in this country, to scare their maggots into opposing doing the right thing. And doing the right thing is doing what we said we'd do when we were there in Afghanistan, and we're telling these people, if you fight for us, we will fight for you. Well, now it's time for us to fight for them and welcome them into this country. They paid a price for it, baby. The same way we paid a price on the mortgage on this house. There's a lot going on, baby. Yeah, the second Oath Keeper pled guilty to conspiracy, baby. That's two of them suckers that done pled guilty to conspiracy. Trying to look at my notes, and all I'm seeing is the problems that we have to fix. The cracks in the walls and stuff. You know, they were in committee this morning, in the House committee on H.R. 3, which is the act of the bill that they want to negotiate drug prices. Health and Human Services want to negotiate drug prices so Medicare can pay a whole lot less for the drugs. Yeah. 3 of our own Democrats voted against it this morning. Schrader out of Oregon, Peters out of California, and Rice out of New York. 3 Democrats voted against it. It failed in committee. That's a crack, baby. We need to fix that crack. The voting rights bill, the one that Joe Manchin, he when he came out and he said, "Look, I'm not for the People Act." He wasn't for H.R. 1. He's going to try to come up with a different idea here that maybe the Republicans would go along with. Yeah, what did they come up with? The Freedom to Vote Act. Yeah, Mitch McConnell shot it down this morning, said no Republicans will support that. What are you going to do, Joe? What are you going to do? Voting rights itself are a challenge in this country as it is. And the Republicans are going to damn sure try to make it as hard as they can for anybody to vote in this country. So what are you going to do, Joe? You're going to stand by and let voting rights be stomped on in this country? Are we going to stand by and let women's rights be stomped on in this country? We can't do that, baby. We have foundational problems. We have cracks in the walls. We have to fix all this shit. And it's only fixed when you go to the polls, when you go to vote. We saw it last night in California. Gavin Newsom is safe, baby. He's going to remain governor. Last I seen, it was like a 28 percentage point difference between the yes and the no vote. So we fixed the small leak. We fixed a leaking pipe in our house and kept Gavin Newsom as governor, which has big implications, baby. And I think it's a sign of times to come. Republicans can't keep holding on to this hate and expect it to continue to sell. It was a one-time item, baby. It was what do they call that, a passion purchase or whatever else. You know, when the teabaggers got all upset because we had a black man in the office and they rose up, and then Donnie the Dick came along and fed them birtherism shit and fed it all up, and they elected that little disgusting turd. Yeah, well, we're getting tired of the drama. And ever since that man came into our house, people have been realizing that it's a sad mistake that this country made. And it infected the Republican Party. The mold that man left inside the Republican Party continues to grow this day. We saw it yesterday in the Senate committee on Afghanistan. The partisan hacks the Republicans have been to try to scream and bloody murder about everything, while turning a blind eye to their own corruption and their own hate. We got to fix this house, baby. Joe Biden's doing a hell of a job in my book. He's being bold in his moves, and he's being decisive in his actions. That's what I want in a leader. I don't want some mumbling asshole who's going to pull something out of his ass. I want somebody to speak the truth. And Joe Biden's doing that, and he's got a whole lot of repairs to do to this house. But he can't do it without our help, without our input, before we have to spend more blood and treasure on it. We have to invest in the future through our vote, baby. That is the most important thing that you could bring to this construction site, baby, is your passion to save this democracy. And let that passion come through in every election you see come your way. I don't care if it's a local election or a national election. You should be involved because all those little houses out there in states and in counties and districts, yeah, well, they're all subletted from this guy. They're all a part of this, and only when we all work together can we build a country that has a foundation that supports all of us. And that's what we need to do, baby. That's the way it was designed, and that's the way we have to maintain it. So anyway, what else? There's a bunch of stuff here. Voting Rights Act, I said that. Just H.R. 3, that's Simone Biles, Gavin Newsom. Well, damn. United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia are forming a coalition to push back on China in the South China Sea. Well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? You know, the book Profile, or not Profile, what was it? Woodward's new book, Peril, talks about Milley even having to talk to China on the phone during Trump's last days, trying to assure him that we weren't going to start some shit in South China Sea. We let that little maggot come into our house, and it's cost this country dearly, and damn near took us into a major war just for his publicity stunt. We have to fix our house, baby, and we can't let that kind of disaster happen again. Be involved, be informed, know what you're doing. Enjoy your life, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your beer and bud. But keep your house in mind, baby. We live here. I don't want the roof caving in. I don't want the walls cracked. I want the foundation solid, baby. And we're the ones that do it. Anyway, kind of a rambling rant today. It's Wednesday. What do you expect? Anyway, sun is shining out here. I hope it's shining on you. We'll have another Blue Dot family meeting tomorrow night. So please come by and join us, and then we'll slide right into Beer and Bud Friday, and looking forward to the weekend. But every day news comes out, and there's information that comes out. You don't have to spend all day on it like I do. Hell, that's my job nowadays. It's what I got to do. But be informed and notice. And because there's not much choice here. You can either be a decent human being, or you can be a maggot. I don't think that's hard choice there, baby. I kind of like the decent human being thing myself. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being here. And take care of yourself and take care of each other. We'll see y'all later.